all the money over there and think that we're going to be supportive of the Clyde Warren Park. But we have parks that we need to have some of these same amenities to in our area. And if we do not, and we continue to, and I support all of that stuff, but I'll support all of it, I had to make sure they understood. They're talking about inside the loop. Well, inside the loop means inside of Woodall Rogers and inside of I-30. Well, as I had to make them understand, Griggs Park.
Yeah.
I remember Griggs Park, where the Negro baseball was played, where Papa Dad's Barbecue and the original Henderson's Chicken and the State Theater and all of that, where they came in and took that whole community away to say that the grounds was poison or whatever they said. Yeah. All right, I wasn't active then, but then they moved it away. But the ground all of a sudden was clean enough to put all them high condos and everything else over there. But then they wanted to leave Griggs Park out of the equation of the master plan. Well, rest easy, because it's a part of the master plan by the time I got through with them. So that they understood that I said, you have to take this little bit of pimple that y'all looking at like a pimple, and you have to include it and put some very rich history in here. You cannot erase the history of African Americans just because white folks now live there. I'm not racist, do not get me wrong. The white folks understand when I use the vernacular of white folks. They understand where I'm coming from. But we must protect our history. And if we don't protect our history and we continue to let them just run over it, no one would ever know anything about what took place at Central Track and where Booker T. Washington and everybody. Right. Maceo Smith is the only house still over there that black folks really got a handle on that's in the middle of that community, and there's one or two more that I'm not maybe familiar with. But they cannot erase our history, and we're not going to let them do that. I just encourage you all, please, become more involved. Become more involved as an organization, become more involved as a church, and become more involved with the things that are happening currently downtown. It is not a battle we cannot win. It is not a battle that we have to go out and protest. We just simply have to show up. I'll be surprised when the white folks come down there and Dr. Kemp will tell you, they come down there and it's 300 of them down there. They have their name tags on. They all have the same color T-shirts on, and they come in there at 9 o'clock in the morning, and they're in there with issues such as, don't spade my pet. And then when we up here got code enforcement, we got crime, we got no economic development, and we won't come down there and speak up, but they come down there talking about their pets and their plants and all those type things. Well, they have the right to do so. But we have a responsibility to stand up and speak up. And just like Dr. Bishop was saying, the beer and wine I was against. And I was very vocal against it. I did not want it to take place. I saw through the fog in advance. Because I asked Kroger, what were you going to do and how many stores are you going to build over in our immediate area? Now, stop saying the southern sector. I've never lived in the southern sector. I lived in South Dallas and I live in Oak Cliff, just like you live in University Park and Highland Park and what's that with Lake? Where that boy live? Jerry and them. Lake High.
Lake High.
Everybody got a name, but us. So they want to dump us all together. South Dallas. If it happened across the bridge, it happened over here next to Seacrest Golf Course in South Dallas. I made them understand this is not South Dallas. Sure is. South Dallas was Hamilton, 421 and 428. That's right. Oak Cliff was Whitehall, 941 and 942. That's right. South Oak Cliff was Franklin, 371 and 372. So don't get it twisted. All right? They need to understand that we have this is where we are. And until and when they would divvy up the money, and they would say, we're doing this for the southern sector. Okay, fine. You just tell me you're going to put all this money in the southern sector. And so you've done a great job for Hatcher at MLK. Okay? Hatcher at Malcolm X. But so that's the southern sector. But then they forgot about Keys at Lancaster and Marcellus and Ann Arbor and 11th Street at Cedar Crest. Because they did this over here for the southern sector. Don't sector me. Define where the money is actually going so we can understand who's being left out. And as long as we would continue to allow them to say southern sector, then that means that if they give us $5 million to the southern sector, well, the whole southern sector got to fight over this $5 million. And just in my district alone, District 4, I need all the $5 million plus other money that we can find. One thing I will say, once you've been the mayor, you get a chance to go into chapter 2. I was so very blessed that I had the opportunity to become the mayor. Once you are the mayor, if you're the mayor 15 minutes, they got to tell you what you need to know. Because see, we operate off of chapter 1. And that's what the council operates on, chapter 1. Chapter 1, we just stuck on chapter 1, whatever they say is in chapter 1, chapter 1. But the mayor gets an opportunity to go to chapter 2. So when I went to chapter 2, I saw a whole bunch of things. And that's why I can speak very bold and tell them, don't tell me we do not have the money. Now what you need to do is get out of this meeting and go find the money. It's real simple as that. Because one, so many things are happening and so many things can happen if only they know that you know. And they know that I know because I've been the mayor. And it's very, very difficult sometimes to be pulled into a meeting out of another meeting for 15 minutes with a room full of white folks. And this other white individual needs $400,000. But yet, and they very creatively found a way to convince me as the mayor, here's the $400,000. This is how we can acquire this. Okay? I'm going too long.
No.
Okay.
I just want to move the podium.
Oh, okay. We gonna
Push it on back down.
push it back in.
Thank you.
All right.
It's difficult to take a picture. Yes, face this one.
Oh,
I'm sorry. People don't have an advantage.
oh, okay. I'm going that way.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Thank